And we're live here to talk about Start Sit. Thank you for joining SGPN Fantasy for the Fantasy Lounge. I'm Adam Pelletier, and Brad, why don't you take us around the horn? Tell us who else we got here.
Once I unmute, I could do that. It is myself, the one and only FF Bourbon Dude, and it's been one of those days because I've already got me a nice little glass of bourbon to sip on. I've already gone into work, answered a few work calls. I'm back home, luckily in time for this and the weekend, and I'm going to pass it over to my normal co-host, Dave. Dave, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, man. It's can't believe that we're only 5 weeks away from the fantasy football playoffs. These games are getting more and more important. And Andrew, how are you today, sir?
Excellent. Already was out, did my yard work for the day, watching the Kansas City Chiefs take it to the old Miami Dolphins. Ready to answer some start-sit questions. Let's go.
There we go. And Brad and I were having a good discussion before we started about Tua Tagovailoa being exactly who we thought he was. Able to beat up on bad teams, but can't play against good teams. So, free Mike McDaniel from Tua Tagovailoa. Get the man a quarterback.
Let us know in the comments how you feel about that. He's Adam and Brian Flores are holding hands on this one.
100%. Big Brian Flores fan.
Oh man, how's Tony? So I haven't got to see the game. Right, there's still all these question marks around the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver core. Who's been the go-to for them? Obviously, outside of Travis Kelce, who's the guy right now? Who's the guy?
It's Rashee Rice right now.
Yeah, it's been Rashee Rice. He's been great. He's been absolutely spectacular. He's athletic. He's explosive. He's making plays. You got to love what you're seeing out of Rashee Rice right now.
Yeah, Sky Morris had a decent game. Justin Watson had an almost touchdown. He's been a little bit involved, but Rashee Rice has looked great. And, we put it in the article this week. The answer to Tony versus Sky Moore, the debate's over. It's Rashee Rice. That is the answer. And hopefully you be able to get him in the back end of your rookie drafts in the second round. So we got a question here, Singletary or JSN PPR? I'll start us off. I'm going to go JSN. Adam.
Give me Devin Singletary. Dameon Pierce is out. That means we're in for a big Devin Singletary week. He's had some pop-up weeks before, but it's going to be a big week with no Dameon Pierce. I like Devin Singletary. I thought all along he was going to take a lot of the work from Dameon Pierce. That hasn't happened. And that Texans run game has been non-existent. But he's going to get most of the snaps and work today. Give me Dameon Pierce.
Brad?
Or not Devin Singletary, not Dameon.
Yeah, I'm going JSN on this one. And I know Dameon Pierce is out, and Devin Singletary will likely get the same work that he's been getting, 10 to 15 touches. And is that really enough in the Houston Texans offense against a pretty stout defense in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, historically against the run as well? So give me JSN.
All right, Andrew, before we go to the next question.
Yeah. I'll take Singletary on that, by the way. Opportunities. I think he gets more opportunities, probably double the opportunities at least for what JSN is going to get. So I'll take that.
All right, let's just say hi to the chat real quick. Shane, thanks for checking in, man. Is this your team or the wifey? Daquan, thanks for checking in. Jamie, always. Chance. So we're getting a lot of questions, so probably should, not go round robin on all of them. The first one, Hurts or Burrow? Shane, if it is 4-point passing TD or 6-point, it might help. Adam, thoughts here?
I mean, you're going to flip a coin, and depending on your luck, you're either going to get the right answer or the wrong answer because Burrow's playing against a Bills secondary that's banged up. They're not going to be able to hang with Higgins and Chase. Rasul Douglas doesn't start playing for them until next week. That was a move to help them beat the Bengals in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be able to beat. It's going to be a tough game today, and Joe Burrow's going to have a big game. So I really like Burrow. The thing with the Eagles is I think they're just going to be blowing the Cowboys out. So it's going to be a limited Hurts game. So I changed my mind. Give me Burrow.
Brad?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Burrow. Hurts has been historically pretty bad against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know that's with Trayvon Diggs there. He's been out this season, but I still don't expect him to do what we've seen him do in some of these other games. So you look at Burrow against the Buffalo Bills, I'm not going to reiterate what Adam talked about with the defensive side of the ball, but I expect a big game from Burrow because they're really not leaning on Joe Mixon at all. They're not giving him a ton of volume. So it's going to all be done through the air there for the Cincinnati Bengals this week.
Well, I don't think you can go wrong on this one. I don't think there is a wrong answer. I got them both inside my top 6. I do got Hurts above Burrow. Andrew, do you want to answer this one and then the next QB question?
Yeah. So that last one, I'll take Hurts as well. I like the rushing ability that sets him apart for me. Let's see here. So Fantasy Football Week 9 QB help: CJ Stroud or Jordan Love. I'll take Stroud. And it's not particularly close for me. I can't trust Jordan Love out there right now. He looks awful. The offense is talking about using Aaron Jones and letting him loose now. So they might run the ball a little bit more and just try to keep it out of Jordan Love's hands. Yes, it's CJ Stroud for me.
Adam?
I'm backing him with Stroud. Stroud had a down week last week, but he's still only thrown 1 pick on the season. I think he's in for a big bounce back week against the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers secondary and defense have proven they're vulnerable to the pass. So give me Stroud.
Most loyal listener goes to Jamie. Daquan, I'm in a Superflex PPR. I don't know if I should start Alexander Madison, Jordan Love, or Derek Carr. And so that's in the Superflex. So Brad, where are you going here?
Yeah, this kind of shows my cards on the last question because I'm going Jordan Love. I think we might be looking at it too much from an NFL standpoint. Jordan Love is not looking good from an NFL quarterback perspective, but from a fantasy perspective, he's a number 13, number 12, depending on your scoring format. He's putting up good numbers even over the course of the last couple of weeks, which have been subpar passing performances. So I'm going with Jordan Love in the Superflex on this one.
I'm going to go Carr. I got Carr at 9. He's my QB9. At QB 13, Jordan Love. I would have took Stroud over Love. Andrew, where are you going?
Yep, Derek Carr. Again, I can't really trust Jordan Love, and Alexander Madison's like a low end RB2. I don't want that in the flex. I'll take Derek Carr.
Adam?
Yeah, I'm going to go Carr. I think Carr's in for a bounce back week this week against a really bad Bears defense. If we've seen anything, Matt Eberflus is an awful coach for every player involved and the defensive side of the ball where he's a supposed guru. Give me Derek Carr this week, especially since Chris Olave is a little unsettled. I love playing an unsettled wide receiver against a soft opponent because that feels like a monster breakout game for Chris Olave.
Right back at you, Adam. JSN or Jaden Reed? We don't know if it's PPR or not. Jamie,
it's JSN. It's JSN. It's JSN. I don't want anything to do with Jaden Reed. I don't want to. The thing that's helping Jordan Love right now is he's got back-to-back 3 touchdown weeks. The yardage isn't there. The completion numbers aren't there. JSN is going to get reliable work. He's been establishing himself as surpassing Tyler Lockett in this Seattle offense. Go with the talent. Go with the opportunity. Go with the better quarterback. Give me JSN.
Agreed. Chance, you're next. Brad, do you want to answer this one and then answer Chance's question?
Yeah, it's JSN for me pretty easily. And then looking at this, so you've got Quentin Johnson for me is completely outside of this. He's not anywhere in the realm of possibility for me on that starting lineup. So then the question is, do we get the Wan'Dale that we saw?
Brad, I know you had work today, so I want to make sure you know Josh Palmer is out. Does that change things for you?
No, still irrelevant. JSN for me, We know what that is. Wan'Dale, the question mark is, do we get the Wan'Dale pre-Daniel Jones injury where he's getting 5, 6, 7 targets a game and basically catching everything? Or do we get what we saw with Tyrod Taylor? And I do expect you to come back to the Wan'Dale prior to with Darren Waller being out. So I'm going to go Wan'Dale Robinson, assuming this is a PPR league, out of these three.
Andrew,
Maybe the bourbon's hitting me a little early.
Andrew, I saw some faces. You disagree?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, with Palmer out, they started to finally scheme up Quentin Johnston last week a little bit. I mean, this is a high-flying offense. It's what I want to be putting into my lineup. So I'm going to take Quentin Johnston out of all of these, and then JSN. I'll leave Wan'Dale on the bench because I just don't trust the Giants to do anything. I mean, they have the lowest amount of wide receiver touchdowns in the NFL. I don't want anything to do with Wan'Dale. So JSN and Quentin Johnston. And I'll be putting money on Quentin Johnston anytime touchdown. It's his time.
Yeah, do we think that Quentin Johnston's going to see Sauce Gardner the majority of that game since he plays outside the entire time? Because that's I get it. Josh Palmer's out, but Sauce is really, really good at football.
And the type of player that's going to beat Sauce Gardner is a good, crisp route runner, which Quentin Johnson is not. Quentin Johnson is Mike Williams 2.0. He doesn't have that crisp route running that's going to allow him to beat a lockdown corner like Sauce Gardner. And again, this Chargers offense just feels bad right now. It feels out of sorts. It doesn't feel like it's clicking on all cylinders. They're being held back by bad coaching right now.
So I think I can go Quentin Johnston for the upside over Wan'Dale. JSN for me is the easy one. But I don't know if you see Quentin Johnston get majority or if you see more Everett and more Eckler and other pieces get involved. They could, also run Josh Kelly a little bit more. The Jets are tough against the pass. Next question. It's an ugly one. So which one is worse, Van Jefferson or DJ Chark? Adam.
How bad is my team if I have both of these guys in a lineup together? This is where my life is at in one league. It's awful. Just because, I like Van Jefferson right now because Taylor Heineke can throw the ball. Taylor Heineke's going to get the ball out to his guys. I'm sure, as Andrew would attest, Taylor Heineke can make your receivers fantasy productive. So I actually really like Kyle Pitts and Van Jefferson this weekend. I'm going to like Drake London a lot more when he's back. And for whatever reason, DJ Chark has not been able to recapture the player he was in Jacksonville in his breakout year. So give me Van Jefferson right now. I want to believe in DJ Chark, but for whatever reason, he hasn't become the guy that he once was.
Don't tell Sleeper because they keep putting Chark at 11 and 12 projection, just trying to bait you into starting him, and it's really tough. Brad, I know you're a Chark guy. Van Jefferson or Chark?
Yeah, I was a Chark guy, but it hasn't come to fruition, so I'm actually going to go Van Jefferson for basically the same stuff that Adam already talked about.
All right. Andrew, James Cook, Tyler Lockett, PPR.
Ooh, damn. That is close for me. I will go Cook, though. I think he has a better chance of scoring a touchdown. I know Lockett was a little banged up, but he's fine, good to go. But it's a tough matchup for the Seahawks wide receivers. Again, I think JSN's the one that benefits the most from having a lesser coverage for himself. So yeah, I'll go James Cook. I don't love either of them, but Cook at least feels safer for maybe a touchdown.
Adam?
It's Cook. Cook's just getting the ball so many times. He's getting the ball 15 to 20 times a game. Tyler Lockett, again, seeing a receding role with JSN over the past couple weeks. And again, that touchdown upside with James Cook is going to be there, and it's always going to be there. And I don't think it's there with Tyler Lockett. And I'm just give me 1 second because, yeah, until last week, his snap share had been declining, but it jumped back up last week against Cleveland. I think it's going to keep declining, though, like we all thought it was going to do in the second half of the season.
Side note, did everyone see the Leonard Fournette photos?
Yes. Why are the back part of his thighs as big as the front part of his thighs? What the hell is that guy doing?
He definitely got a random P test after those pictures. Brad,
Love
Michael
it.
Thomas or Jacoby Myers? 0.5 PPR.
Oh man, this is tough. My gut says Jacoby Myers, but with Aiden O'Connell starting, I just don't know if I can do that. So I'm going to roll with Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints and say Michael Thomas is the better option here.
Yeah, I got Michael Thomas above Myers. Myers is going to get Dory Jackson. He's been manning the slot for the Giants. Tough matchup, and Aiden O'Connell's there. So I could see a lot of Josh Jacobs, not as much volume. And I do think a lot of that volume is going to go towards one person, and it's Devontae Adams. Andrew, your thoughts on Michael Thomas or Jacoby Myers?
Oh, man. Yeah, it is very tough here. I again, don't love either of these guys inserting into my lineup. I'm going to go Jacoby Myers. I think the problem with Michael Thomas for me is I think Alvin Kamara can have a huge game. I think Chris Olave can kind of have a squeaky wheel game here. I think Mike Thomas can get let out of the game plan because they're just going to destroy the Bears. Jacoby Myers at least might get some opportunities because God knows what's going to happen in this Raiders-Giants game. He might see more opportunities. Man, don't love either, but I'll take Myers on the upside of maybe he sees 9-10 targets.
All right, Adam.
Give me Michael Thomas. In the one game where O'Connell was the full starter, Myers had 4 targets for 2 catches on 33 yards. And he just, and then against Chicago, he did have a slightly better game with 13 targets for 7 catches for 50 yards, but O'Connell didn't play that entire game. So it just feels like Michael Thomas has been consistent every week, right around 8, 9, 7, somewhere between 7 and 9 targets every week in, week out, 50-yard floor, maybe a touchdown. They're going to start pushing the ball a little bit further down the field. Give me Mike. Can't guard Mike.
Adam, Juju, or Keontae? DeMarcado's out.
Oh, God. Keontae, I guess. God, Juju's just been so bad this year. Like, I thought Juju Smith-Schuster going to New England was just going to be the continuation of the New England slot receiver. But he has 89 yards on 15 catches this year.
Yeah.
I got to go with the running back who's completely untested over the receiver who's got 15 catches.
Yeah, I'm also going with Keontae. It is Clayton Tune against the Browns, so much as I'm a Clayton Tune guy, I did not wish this upon him for a start. But Juju's just been so bad that, like his ceiling right now is like 2 points. And so Keontae, you at least gonna, scratch the lottery ticket. Brad?
It's Keontae Ingram. I hate it against the Browns defense and their rush defense, but there's no way. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is droppable in leagues. I don't even want him on.
I'm shocked he's still on this person's roster. I'm going to be honest. That was the first thought in my head.
Well, it's probably a deeper league if he's also got Keontae Ingram.
Yeah, you got to hope that's like a 16 team or you're starting 15 guys or something.
Yeah, something like that. This one, another gross one, Royce Freeman or Miles Sanders. Andrew, thoughts about this one?
Oh my God, I'd be visiting the waiver wire real quick to see what else is on there. Let me see how I have them ranked.
The theme of this show is which one is worse. Not who to start.
This is the hold your nose week and take your medicine. That's what it's feeling like. I mean, I know for me, I got absolutely tagged in a league with McCaffrey, Calvin Ridley on bye, and then I had to start either Tajay Spears or Jaylen Warren, and I guessed wrong and started Spears.
Yeah, I got Jaren Hall starting at quarterback only because I have to start a quarterback. And I have Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, who's out, and then Jared Goff. So 3 guys on bye, 1 guy hurt. And so I thought I had plenty of quarterbacks, and I'm trying to trade for Taysom Hill.
Is it at least a super flex? Is it a super
It's a super flex. So I have to start. I have to start the quarterback there. I also got Jake Trowbridge needs to just trade me Baker Mayfield just for a little bit, but he's being stingy.
You need a player rental. You need a loan. You need to arrange a short-term
I'm playing
loan.
Jake and just give me Baker, and he wants too much. But Royce or Miles, Andrew.
Yeah, I'll go Freeman. I don't feel good about either of these guys. I think the matchup's a little better, and for whatever reason, they just hate Miles Sanders over there in Carolina. Chuba Hubbard's obviously getting the start, so I'll take Freeman. But yeah, do not feel good about either one of those guys.
Brad, any thoughts? Oh, Adam.
Freeman's going to touch the ball 10 times. Miles Sanders might be lucky to see 10 snaps. So give me Freeman.
Yeah, he's got that groin injury that it just seems like they should just put him on the IR. I don't know if that's playing a factor or not, but it seems like it. Roshan Johnson or Alexander Madison? Brad.
Oh, God. I'm going to go reluctantly with Alexander Madison, even though we've seen Cam Akers get a little bit more work the last couple weeks, more work in the red zone. We have not seen Roshan Johnson take the work away from Deonta Foreman just yet. So I'm going to roll with the known of Alexander Madison. And with that Jaron Hall start, you may see a little more reliance on the running game this week with those guys.
Adios, Jamie. This is so tough. Which one are you? Which one you like best, Andrew?
Man, I'm a Roshan guy, and I just can't do it. I just think that Madison's going to see more work. Don't love the matchup for Roshan either. Against the Saints, they have a pretty good front. Madison at least should get work around the goal line as well. Man, yeah, I guess Madison. No, I don't feel good about him either.
Can I give one of my world famous go pick up Ezekiel Elliott answers? Because he's going to get the same amount of touches as both of these guys, but all of his touches are going to be inside the 5-yard line. Like, he's been consistently getting touchdowns. And I think it's a very real possibility that my prediction in preseason that you wanted to roster Ezekiel Elliott over Ramondre Stevenson and Alexander Madison has life to it still.
Well, and just a reminder, if you can slide people from that are marked out at 11:30 into your IR spot, do so, and then stash high value handcuffs. If somebody's on your waiver wire, you don't want to be spending $40 fab on Amari DiMercado. You'd rather just scoop them up and stash them and then drop them on Wednesday if nothing happens.
You don't want to spend 30% of your fab on Khalil Shakir in a dynasty league.
That too.
That was painful to see him go for that.
Forza, what's up, man? Nakua or Watson?
Oh,
Puka 10 times out of 10 for me on this one.
It does sound like Brett Rippon's starting. It's doubtful, unlikely that Stafford's going to play per Schefter. Nakua is also banged up coming in. Does that change anything?
Nope.
Andrew?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm going to go Puka, but I do think that there's a world where, they kind of pull Puka if he's limping around a little bit. I mean, why have him out there getting hurt when he could potentially be the face of your franchise moving forward? If they get rid of Kupp after this year, I just don't think that it's worth the risk. I would rather start Nakua for sure. I think he has better upside even with Rippon. But I do think there's a possibility where they just pull him to keep him from getting, a worse injury. So just be mindful of that. But I'll go Nakua.
Adam, it is PPR. I just want to throw that out there.
That wouldn't make Christian Watson a more viable option. That makes him a less viable option because he's a big play dependent touchdown guy. He's a worse version of Gabe Davis at this point. He might be more talented, but in usage and everything else, he's a worse version of Gabe Davis. So give me the guy who's going to get reliable targets right now.
Yeah, he doesn't have Josh Allen, and Jordan Love is literally the 32nd ranked passer against when he's under
He's a
pressure.
seat warmer for Caleb Williams or Drake May.
Packers, they'll do. I don't think it'll be bad enough for that, but they're pretty bad. DJ Moore or Devonta Smith. Hey, you got plenty of options. You can see Michael Penix over there. We got what's his Bo Nix?
I'd go Devonta Smith.
Jordan Love, but yeah.
I still have a little bit of a love for Devonta Smith. I think it's a little bit higher scoring game than what you're going to see from the Chicago Bears. And in a few weeks that we've seen Tyson Bagent, while he's looked okay for a backup perspective, we've still only seen DJ Moore with about 50 yards receiving in every game. So I'm going to go with the known of Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. Outside of those 2 weeks, DJ Moore has been pretty bad. I got him as one of my sits of the week in my rankings article.
I think the thing with DJ Moore is he needs Justin Fields to get back, because when you saw him with Justin Fields, he was doing well. 3 of the 5 games, he's over 100 yards. He has touchdowns in 3 of the 5 games. He obviously had that game where he went nuclear with the 8 for 230 and 3 touchdowns. And he's still involved. He's getting targets, but with Bagent, they're not quality targets. So I think if you can buy low on DJ Moore right now, I would buy low on DJ Moore, because I think when Justin Fields comes back, he's going to do better, and he's going to be that threat to be 100 yards every game like he was to start the year.
Andrew, DJ Moore, or Devonta Smith?
I'll take Devonta Smith. I trust the quarterback more. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. And I just think Moore has a tough matchup against what I assume is going to be Lattimore most of the game. So I will take Smith.
Yeah, and I'll also second the good trade for DJ Moore. He's a good buy low right now. Yeah, Jamie and Andrew will come on for a special if Rashawn has a breakout week. Stevenson, Dell, Dotson, Ford, or Johnston. Pick 2. Brad, you are up.
Okay, so I'm still going to believe that Jahan Dotson has a follow-up game from the final good game that we have been waiting on all season long last week. So I'm going to roll Jahan Dotson. I still think Jerome Ford coming back off that injury, what looked like might have been an IR stint. He didn't miss any time, but he saw a drastic drop in snaps and a split. So I'm sitting Ford. So I'm going to go with a Ramondre Stevenson as the other guy. So I'm starting Ramondre Stevenson and Jahan Dotson.
All right, Andrew.
Okay, so if you think Ford is close to 100%, I'm taking Jerome Ford over any of these guys. Wonderful matchup. We just saw what Gus Bus did, and nobody thinks Gus Bus is out there scoring for 3 touchdowns, right? Like, Jerome Ford has that in him as well. So if you think Ford's close to 100%, I take Ford, and then I'll take Dotson. If you don't want to take Ford, you don't think that the injuries 100%, you think Kareem Hunt's going to take goal line work, whatever the case may be, then I'll roll Stevenson as well. But it's definitely Dotson and then Ford or Stevenson, depending on how you feel about Ford's health.
Yeah, and Ford is just don't watch the game. He had 1 carry for 69 yards and finished with 11 carries for 74 yards. It's just, you don't watch the game. And like, he's a very efficient player, and he does have these big plays, and he's been cashing in on them. So
just watch Red Zone and get excited about the 169-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, but he's averaging 8 yards a carry. I'm going with Dotson and Stevenson. Andrew or Adam?
I'm actually Dotson. Obviously, back-to-back big weeks. No Curtis Samuel. I feel like he's finally starting to turn the corner here. Give me Tank Dell though here, because Tank Dell has been steadily involved in this offense. They're looking for ways to get him the ball. He's had 7 rushes over the last 2-3 weeks to go with his target share. I think his target share is going to start to get back up, because he sneakily had a tough stretch here. Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Carolina have good defenses, have good secondaries, and are able to slow guys down. So now against a Buccaneers team that struggles against the pass, I think Tank Dell is going to be back to some of his old self, where he's going to have 7, 8, 9, 10 targets. So I like Dell and Dotson this weekend.
All right. Daquan's going Ford and Dell. Brad, Down or Hunt? 0.5 PPR.
Josh Downs.
Is Downs playing? Do we know? Not yet.
I was going to say, can somebody check on the 11:30 actives and access for us?
Got 1 minute still.
Yeah, if Downs is in, I'm playing him. Hunt hasn't played 50% of snaps, but he is definitely the goal line back, and that's the concern there. He could get 10 carries, but 3 or 4 of them are goal line, and you could see them easily rolling 28, 30 points over Arizona there.
All the reports are that Downs is going to play, and he's been gold with Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is playing for his 2024 contract, and I think somebody's going to give him one the way he's playing right now, because you have teams like Green Bay that are just suffering in mediocrity. And, I mean, he's better than Jordan Love right now. He's better than Kenny Pickett. If he's on the Steelers are a definitive playoff team, and you actually are scared of that team. So whatever Gardner Minshew's limitations are, he belongs in a better situation, and he's going to end up in a better situation next year. So he knows that he's going to keep balling out this year.
Well, and Anthony Richardson's a buy low because that offense is good.
I'm going to take Hunt here, by the way, and I don't even care if Downs is 100% or not. I don't know if that Jerome Ford is 100%, and like you mentioned, Hunt is getting a lot of the work around the goal line. Like this dude could score 2 touchdowns easily today, and that's the difference between what him and Downs can do. And I mean, if Downs isn't 100%, again, maybe they give him a lighter workload. So for me, it's Hunt no matter what.
Does this mean we take a deep shot on Pierre Strong today if Ford is banged up?
I don't know if I'd go that far because Ford's going to play, but I mean, I don't think it's 100%.
I was just putting it out there because I was genuinely wondering who Cleveland's third running back is right now.
It is Strong, and Strong's not looked terrible.
No, he did not, especially last week when he got some of the work. So,
all right, an Asian Assassin with an amazing little picture there. Love that. Thanks for checking in, man. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Dobbs or Jamison Crowder, full PPR. Adam.
God, I hate this question, but give me Dobbs. Crowder hasn't played consistently for Washington in that offense. It's Dotson. I think that was a little bit of a fluke game last week for him. Give me Dobbs. He's been consistently involved. He's gonna win. He's gonna win reps. I can't see sitting him for Crowder.
Yeah, Dobbs is top 2 or 3 in the route and pecking order. You got Logan Thomas there. You got Dotson. You got McLaurin. I'm definitely sticking with Dobbs. Brad.
Yeah, 9 or more targets in 3 out of the last 5 games. The volume is going to be there for Dobbs. Jamison Crowder, I just don't see the volume for him.
Yeah. Now, appreciate you checking in, man. I think it's a pretty easy one. Howard or Watson? I'm gonna throw this to the bottom, guys. Andrew, you can go first.
Oh man, can't trust Watson. It's all How. I mean, how is he's the currently 8th for fantasy points scored at the QB position. Watson just coming back. I mean, we saw what happened last time Watson played. He was in there for like what felt like 4 seconds and then got out. Like I just can't trust Watson. This feels like Howell's going to throw the ball 45, 50 times again. Eric Bieniemy just kind of seems to not want to run the ball a whole lot right now. And, I just think Howell can throw the ball a ton. So it's Howell for me pretty easily.
All right, Brad. Round 2
This
fight.
sucks. God, this sucks. No, you can't start Watson right now. He was in for 2 drives and threw what should have been 2 picks. And it only ended up being 1. There's no guarantee. He practiced last week, started. You could tell he's still not healthy. He's still making terrible decisions, even with the bad health. It just adds to the problem. And there's no guarantee that he's healthy this week. He will ride my bench until I see that he is back to at least normal throwing motion with no pain. And if I've got Sam Howell, I'm comfortable starting him over.
Yeah, I got Howell in there.
Listen, one of these guys is a blue-collar kid from the country of North Carolina, grinder, knows what the hustle's about. Everybody's doubted him his entire life, from his time as a high school quarterback at Sun Valley High School to the University of North Carolina, and now he's dropping back, throwing 50 times a game, and has a pot. And if, honest to God, you take out that Bills game where he threw 4 picks, and he's been stellar. Everybody is still down on Sam Howell because of that one game where he had no offensive lineman in front of him. Washington called me to play guard before that game just because they were like, yeah, that's a fat guy. He can stand in there and slow somebody down. And outside of that, he's never had a multi-pick game, but he's had multiple multi-touchdown games. He's dropping back 50 times a game to throw. It's Sam Howell all day, every day. This isn't even a question. Deshaun Watson shouldn't be on your roster right now.
Oh, shit.
Drop some mic on that one.
I like
that.
that.
Is a hard worker from the country of North Carolina, and the other one is a newly born trust fund kid.
All right, we're after
Tell me I'm
Deshaun
wrong, Brad.
Watson
Tell me
gets
I'm wrong.
buried. After Deshaun Watson gets
I've never
buried,
agreed with Brady Quinn in my life, but I'm 100% on board with that analysis.
we're gonna go with the DST question for the day: Falcons or Houston Texans. And by now, someone should be able to get the actives and inactives for me.
I keep refreshing it, and there's nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't understand what's happening here.
Yeah, so the Atlanta Falcons have Minnesota and Jaron Hall, and Houston gets Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield. So I am going to take the matchup here against Jaron Hall and take the Falcons. Brad?
Yeah, I'm going Falcons all day, every day on this one.
Anybody else? Any difference?
Nope, Falcons.
All right, we got pick
It's
2.
definitely, and let's just remember this: Jaron Hall has attempted less than 500 passes in his collegiate career.
Yep.
One of these guys is a real NFL quarterback, and the other one is going to be in the spring league next year.
So, yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say, like, I'm looking at the right spot right here. It's on the NFL website, the inactive reports for Sunday Week 9 games. Like, I don't understand why they don't have these out yet. What am I doing here wrong?
I don't know. I usually just check Twitter. It's usually faster.
Twitter, Fantasy Life app.
God.
Christian Darrisaw just tweaked his groin in practice, is inactive today. Falcons, fire him up.
Oh God, yes.
Oh,
Spend up for the Falcons in your DFS contest. Get them in your lineup anyway.
Does that change? Does that change anybody's Madison like at all? Like, do you really think that he should be sat now? Because I mean that might be their best offensive lineman.
It is their best
I'm
offensive
avoiding
lineman.
all things Minnesota. I took Jordan Addison out of my lineup.
Oh, I think
Wherever
TJ
I
Hawkinson's still fine. I think if
I'll
again,
keep Hawkinson, but I'm taking Addison out.
Yeah, Addison's hard to trust too.
I dropped Hawkinson, but I couldn't drop him that far. He's still in the top 6. And then Addison, I did drop out of I dropped him pretty far. And it's just going to be really tough today. So it's a tough matchup. AJ Terrell and Jaron Hall dragging him down. Like, I'm just not interested.
The inactives have been released now. Who are we asking about?
Really just rip them off.
I'm trying to see if there's anything like worth noting here.
We know Josh Palmer is out. For anybody that doesn't know that news came out yesterday.
Not okay. Well, not every team has been put up here on the NFL website yet, but I don't see anything that we didn't already know about. I believe.
Official Brett Rippon will start for the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford is expected to be out.
Trying to look for Josh Downs. I don't see the Colts one yet.
So, yeah, keep an eye on that for us. Here's a question. Aaron Jones, Gus Edwards, Christian Watson, Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnson, Tyler Algier. A lot of guys we talked about already. PPR.
Ooh.
Brad.
I'm going to go the first 2 on the list, Aaron Jones and Gus Edwards. I just think Aaron Jones is going to, he's a couple weeks removed from that injury. He's back. They're talking about getting him more involved. So I think you see him as the best player for the Green Bay Packers, not to mention kind of the game script against the Rams kind of leads itself to be a little more of a run-heavy game because of the fact that you got a backup quarterback in there in a hurt Puka Nacua. And then Gus Edwards, he's just getting the volume, and Baltimore is playing very, very good football right now. And I know Seattle is, a little bit better defense than what we've seen in the past, but I'm going to roll with those 2 guys. Christian Watson, since he's come off injury, has not really connected with Jordan Love just yet. We talked about the Minnesota Vikings and Jaron Hall with Jordan Addison, and I still believe Quentin Johnston's going to see a ton of Sauce Gardner. So I'm rolling with Aaron Jones and Gus Edwards.
Adam?
Yeah, I got no disagreement there. Aaron Jones and Gus Edwards. No one else on that list has me feeling confident in their abilities at all. Algier, I mean, here's the thing. Arthur Smith is talking himself out of an NFL head coaching job right now when he just says ridiculous things trying to troll fantasy football players. But everyone's just like, but Bijan Robinson is very clearly better than Tyler Algier. You either need to tell us why you're not playing him, or we're just going to think you're an idiot. Mr. Trust Fund kid. He needs to get
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson down there, and the Trust Fund coach can link up with the Trust Fund quarterback. Brad, I'm sorry. It's not you, okay? It's not you. It's not the Cleveland Browns. It's just, it was the most accurate thing ever. What has he done since he got the contract to prove that he actually wants to play football?
I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but Arthur Smith's brother is the CEO of FedEx.
His dad founded FedEx.
There we go. And so make sure you check out the ticker. We're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use code SGPN for 50% off your first month's purchase. Not enough characters there, I guess. I'm sticking with the first two guys, Jones and Edwards. Andrew, anything else before we go to the next question?
I'll take Jones, and I'll be on the Quentin Johnston Island by myself here, but I really think that it's a opportunity for him to shine.
Yeah, it's definitely a hero play. If Johnston goes and scores, it's the boom play. Cole Kmet or McBride. I missed that one.
We're skipping over the Mac Jones question.
Oh yeah, well it's never Mac Jones. I'm just kidding. I just didn't scroll up far enough. If you all have more time, 2QB, Mac Jones. Oh, maybe it is Mac Jones. Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, or Taylor Heineken.
I'm drinking a Heineken, baby. Give me Taylor. He's going in my lineup.
Go with Taylor.
Without
He's
Drake
the best.
London?
Yes, because he's got Kyle Pitts and Van Jefferson isn't bad. Like Taylor Heineke's going to get the ball to his most important guy. And unlike Mac Jones and Zach Wilson, Taylor Heineke will run the ball. He doesn't care. He's going to put his body on the line for the team, put the team on his back, and carry him through. Taylor Heineke all day. If Taylor Heineke was on the Jets would be undefeated right now.
Mac gets Washington, who just traded their two best pass rushers. Their secondary has not looked great.
But they just got reinforcements. Or they were alleged to be getting reinforcements.
Yeah. And then so I literally have them back to back to back, 21, 22, and 23 in my rankings. But I have Mac Jones above the others, and I feel pretty ugly about it. Andrew?
Yeah. That's tough. It's tough.
Hey, Stassen, is this 4-point or 6-point passing TD? Because that does make a difference for me. Heineke will run a little bit. Jones will not.
Fuck. Yeah.
They all play quarterback.
Yikes.
All right, well, tell Jake that's going to be the next shirt. The answer to this question was, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess. It's oh God. I guess it's no. You know what? I changed my mind. It's Zach Wilson. Give me Zach Wilson.
All right, we got 3 different answers. I hope that helps. Cole Kmet or Trey McBride, PPR. That is Tyson Badgett versus Clayton Tune. He's not a cartoon character.
I'm going Cole Kmet. I loved what we saw out of Trey McBride last week, but that was not Clayton Tune throwing the ball to him. I expect that Cleveland defensive front to really wreak havoc against Clayton Tune. So I'm not I'm benching Marquise Brown, who's a top 15 wide receiver this year. Like there's nobody that I want to start for the Arizona Cardinals this week. So give me Cole Kmet.
Man, I hate this for Clayton Tune, man. If he was playing for the Vikings right now, I'd be so excited. If you guys talk about video game cartoons, look up his video game type of numbers last year. I was doing research on PFF, and every time I looked, Clayton Tune was up there with the big boys, and he just put up monster numbers with Tank Dell and Houston in that gimmicky offense. But man, Cleveland's so tough. I'm gonna go Cole Kmet.
I'll go McBride. He's going to get a fucking billion targets today. I don't think Cole Kmet sees 8. I think McBride sees 12. Honestly, he's the only Arizona Cardinal I even want to remotely have anywhere near a lineup.
Yeah. Trey McBride, tight end, is a bad quarterback's best friend. And the thing is Kmet had 10 targets last week. The week before, he put up a goose egg on the same snap share with the same quarterback. I don't have confidence in Cole Kmet to hold that. And I do have the confidence in McBride to hold that purely because they have to keep DJ Moore involved. They have to keep DJ Moore involved because if he becomes malcontent, the whole plan of the future to replace Justin Fields with a different quarterback, a new young quarterback in this upcoming draft is out the window if DJ Moore won't play for you.
Wow. Mahomes is all right, but he just took a late shot out of bounds by Van Ginkel. Tank Dell or Alexander Madison. Did we answer this one already?
I don't think so. I'll take Dell.
Dell.
Yeah, take Dell for me.
100% Tank Dell.
Blast me away. Thanks for checking in. Pittman, Downs, or Nico. This is a good problem to have. These are good options here. Brett?
I'm going to go Michael Pittman. I like all three of these options. I just like the touchdown upside that Michael Pittman has. We've seen him still play really well with Gardner Minshew. Him and Downs both. But with Downs and that injury, maybe there is an opportunity for him to lose a little bit of that work. And Michael Pittman is still the guy. So I'm gonna roll with Michael Pittman Jr.
I'm really high on Pittman this week. So I got Pittman and Collins both inside my top 15.
I mean, can I get all of them in my lineup? Because I want one of the Colts receivers and I want Nico Collins because this is a Bucs defense that in 2 of the last 3 games have given up more than 300 yards passing. Nico Collins is due for a big game again. Like I said earlier, the Texans have played 3 good defenses in Pittsburgh, Carolina, and Atlanta, and now going up against the Bucs, who are a run stuffing defense but struggle against the pass. I want pieces of this Texans offense right now. So blast me away. Honest to God, can you get Pittman and Collins or Downs and Collins into the lineup? Because if you can, you should.
Andrew, any disagreements?
No, it's Pittman. And again, if anybody has not gone in to get our refs or terrorist shirts, I'm pretty sure these Germany refs are not fans of Mahomes because that was definitely a late hit, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't call it against the Dolphins because then Dolphins fans will take to Twitter and splice together videos of, missed calls.
Oh shit! He fumbled. Oh god.
You're ahead of me.
Mahomes.
All right, Ferguson or Pitts?
The rest of us.
All right. I wish
Sorry.
I don't want to copyright, but Fergalicious. All right. Brad.
I'm going Kyle Pitts. Taylor Heineke.
Mr.
Maybe
Jake
I'm on the
Cavender, I
Heineke
believe
train
you meant
here,
to
but
say.
Taylor Heineke has produced high-level wide receiver pass catchers in his startable time in Washington, and I expect that to be the same. Kyle Pitts is still an athletic mismatch at the tight end position, so I expect him to have a pretty big game here. So I'm rolling Kyle Pitts.
Yep, Pitts, easy.
Yeah. It's Pitts. You're asking about a guy. Do you want to start a guy who has 100 more yards than another guy? And has a better matchup. It's Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, and this one, I mean, if you can flex out one of these guys, like we're talking about some of these really ugly questions, I'm starting them both. The Eagles linebackers are not good. They picked up a guy that was literally he was a plumber, then he was going linebacker, and then he retired. It was Miles Jack. He was being a plumber. He's done. And Kobe Dean's not been great, and they're really missing. They both lost both their linebackers this offseason to free agency. So I like them both this week, and I do think Pitts is the main target. And I'll throw a deep sleeper out there. I don't think it's Van Jefferson. I think it's Mac Hollins is going to be the top receiver for Taylor Heineke. He's been on the team all year, and he knows the offense. And he was good with Derek Carr. He just wasn't good with, he hasn't been good this year because Desmond Ridder. Brad is depleted.
Desmond Ridder.
I don't know.
I think that came in with the trust fund quarterback comment.
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
4 point. I didn't have context.
Just in case anybody wasn't here earlier, we rehashed Brady Quinn's comments on Deshaun Watson. Brad had a defeated and crushed look on his face when he realized his team could still have Baker Mayfield.
Yikes.
Zach Moss or Darrell Henderson, 0.5 PPR. Adam.
It's Zach Moss. I mean, he's just been consistently running the ball. He's getting work. He's still double-digit touches, 10 to 15 touches each week since Jonathan Taylor's come back. They're spelling Jonathan Taylor. They're keeping him healthy. And with Brett Rippon starting, Henderson's going to face a loaded box. Give me Zach Moss. I was thinking about it, but I think it's got to be Moss.
I think one thing to keep in mind, Zach Moss has seen his snaps go down 5 straight weeks with a season low of like 39% last week. So that's not very many snaps.
No, it's
Darrell
definitely
Henderson
getting down
is
there.
a trusted guy, so just take that with a grain of salt if you're a Zach Moss believer still, because he did have that touchdown last week.
Daquan says it was a clean hit. He's Daquan. You must be a Dolphins fan. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
He probably also thinks Matt Milano is the dirtiest player in the NFL. So
Tough guys, Gus Edwards or Kareem Hunt, full PPR. Thanks for hanging out, Swagger Hound. Edwards or Hunt? Andrew.
It's Hunt for me. Yeah, I just like the matchup much more than I do for Edwards.
Brad?
I'm going to go Gus Edwards. I think as Jerome Ford continues to, remove himself from that ankle injury, he's going to go back to being a little bit more of the primary guy. So I'm going to roll Gus Edwards, who's getting all the work.
I'm going Gus, but I'm starting them both this week. I just like the touchdown opportunities for Hunt there. Adam?
yeah, give me Edwards. He's just been more involved. He's been getting the work, and there's too many people to take the work from Kareem Hunt in Cleveland, whereas there's no one to take the work in Baltimore.
Good luck, blast me away. Pick two, Rachaad White, Deonta Foreman. I'm assuming Brian Robinson. Can somebody clarify Bijan or Brian? That does make a big difference. Gabe Davis, Osborne, Rashid Shaheed, PPR.
So I'll go first. I'm going to go with either way, whether it's Brian or Bijan. I still want him over the other two running backs. So I'm going to go with whichever of the B-Robs we were talking about. And then I'm going with the big play guy in Rashid Shaheed. Derek Carr really likes this guy, and he's getting heavily targeted down the field, and he's making it count. So I'm going with the good floor play of what I'm going to say is probably Brian Robinson, and then also Rashid Shaheed in the big play, impossible for the moon type of score.
Adam, I know you're a huge Rachaad White fan, so I'm assuming he's top of your list.
I'm with Brad. Whichever B. Robinson that is, the answer is yes. If you can magically get both B. Robinsons on your team, I would start both of them. After that, I'm going to Gabe Davis over Rashid Shaheed, just because I think the Bills are going to be in a shootout with the Bengals tonight. And last week, the Bills made some big changes in how they used Gabe Davis. They shortened his depth of target. They got him involved a lot more over the middle and in the short stuff, letting him use his athleticism. And that was a really good change. And if they keep that change going, Gabe Davis is going to have a monster second half of the year. I do like the big play, Rashid Shaheed, but if you're having 150 yards on 3 catches, then you have me very nervous for your sustainability.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Gabe Davis and B-Rob. But Rachaad White has been a very safe floor because of the volume. Just really no ceiling. He hasn't really been getting involved in the end zone.
I will take, if it's Bijan Robinson, I will take him and Gabe Davis. If that's Brian Robinson, then I'll take Rachaad White and Gabe Davis.
All right. Nico Collins, Tyler Lockett, flex. Who should I start? Sean, is it PPR or half-point PPR? Brad, does it matter?
No, I'm probably going to roll Nico Collins regardless. We're seeing JSN really get sprinkled in a lot more as the season wears on. We got to remember what kind of draft capital was put on him. So I'm going to roll Nico Collins as I expect Tyler Lockett to continue to kind of he's not going to be irrelevant, but he's going to continue to lose opportunities to JSN.
Adam?
It's Nico Collins all day.
Yep.
Jay downstairs is also an option.
Nope.
God, I may roll Josh Downs in that.
I still got Nico. I think these are all 3 good plays. I would definitely try to take 2 of them and go and tier up and try to get ready for your playoffs, get ready for the championship. The depth has gotten you this far, but now you're having these types of decisions where you go grab someone. All right. Amari Cooper and Nico Collins standard.
That's tough. Yeah.
I got Amari Cooper. Brad?
Oh yeah. If I think in real life what I would do, I'd leave Cooper in. So I'm gonna roll Cooper.
Yeah, it's probably the better play. I mean, especially in standard. Probably
And
has
against
opportunity.
against a bad Arizona defense. I mean, PJ Walker can get the ball to his main receiver. He just struggles to have the diversity in that offense and get everybody involved, but he can keep Amari Cooper involved. He's been doing a good job of targeting him, and he finally got going with him. 11 targets for 6 catches last week. So yeah, give me Cooper.
So Daquan is not he's not a Miami fan. He's just been drinking a lot of Heineken. I love it.
Raheem Mostert did just score, by the way.
Nice. All right.
Who put this in?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bruni is just trolling Brad or something. Grain of salt. According to some linguistic historian, the phrase originated an extremely long time ago, around 77 AD, from the Italian author and philosopher Pliny the Elder. Pliny.
Grain of salt. Yeah, grain of salt.
Aaron Jones or Chris Godwin, PPR, Brad.
Oh, this is a good problem to have. I'm gonna go with probably got to do Chris Godwin, right? So we're projecting a little bit with Aaron Jones. We haven't seen him come back to that full volume yet. So when you've got an option like Chris Godwin, who we've seen over the course of the year with Baker Mayfield be able to produce for your team, I'm gonna roll with the sure thing right now because I have the opportunity to. That's tough.
That's a real tough one.
Yeah.
Andrew, Adam?
It's Godwin. I mean, he's just been reliably involved in that offense in a way that Aaron Jones hasn't been, and I don't know that Aaron Jones will be.
Yeah, it's probably Godwin. I don't feel great about saying that. I do think Aaron Jones can actually have a nice workload today, but I guess if you want to be safe with it, probably Godwin until we see it from Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I got him 44 and 45 in my flex ranking. So flip coin and good luck. Godwin is my 44. Logan Thomas or Njoku. Man, Brad and Andrew squaring off again. Andrew.
Assuming this is never mind. It does say PPR. Let me see how I have him ranked here. I think I have Njoku higher. I do. I have Njoku higher a little bit. I guess I'll go with Njoku.
Yeah, I'm going to go David Njoku.
Yeah, I got him 2 spots higher.
I'm going Logan Thomas. I've been loving Logan Thomas's involvement in Washington. Everybody thought it was a joke when they said Logan Thomas is going to fulfill the Travis Kelce role. He might not have the abilities of Travis Kelce, but they've been feeding him the ball. Might not. It's iffy. Who knows? But they've been feeding Logan Thomas the ball. 11, 6, 8 in 3 of his last 4. Been heavily involved. They getting him the ball. It's a focal point of the offense. And give me Logan Thomas. I trust Sam Howell a little bit more than I trust PJ Walker right now.
Geno Smith or CJ Stroud? Andrew.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Stroud. I don't love the matchup for Geno. The Ravens have been stellar against quarterbacks and wide receivers, so I guess I'll go Stroud.
Adam.
Yeah, give me Stroud. The Ravens defense, as he said, been good. They have yet to give up a 300-yard passing day, and they've only had one day giving up more than 250 passing yards, and that was to Jared Goff and the Lions. Granted, they haven't played any amazing teams yet. They played the Bengals in week 2 before they were getting together. So they've been the beneficiaries of a soft schedule. This is probably going to be the second best offense that they've faced to date.
Brad?
Yeah, Stroud for me will go 3 for 3. But I will explain my jealousy here, Dave. We've been podcasting for a long time together, and you've never blown a kiss to me when we're getting off the pod and going away. Like, what the heck, man?
It's just one of those days. Before we get out of here, make sure that you let's see, what's one sleeper, just one deep shot. Adam.
Khalil Shakir. In a shootout game, his role's been expanding, and I know it's not like that deep, but I feel like this could be the game where everybody's like, oh, the Bills are going to let Gabe Davis walk because Khalil Shakir looks like a dude.
All right, and then this one's for Jakey.
Hit that subscribe button.
Hit that subscriber button. Appreciate you guys checking out. Andrew, deep shot.
I would say Quentin Johnston, but we already went over that. So I'm going to take the shot on Jamison Crowder. Been heavily involved. No Curtis Samuel. Look for Jamison Crowder to have another maybe 1 or 2 end zone targets.
All right, little Crowder action. Maybe he's gonna drink some Heineken and eat some Crowder.
Wow.
Brad?
So I'll answer this question because it kind of leads me into my reach. I'm going to go Gabe Davis here because I think in New England, if Tyquan Thornton plays, he might be my deep sleeper right now. As crazy as that sounds.
Ooh, I liked Demario Douglas a lot. I think he's someone that you guys really should think about picking up if you haven't already. But I'm sticking with Gabe Davis here. Marquise Brown gets to change a quarterback, so he's going on the bench. I would probably start Douglas over Brown in this situation. It's tough. They're close. Adam?
I think it's Gabe Davis. I just think Marquise Brown, we talked about our hesitancy on Clayton Tooney. Give me Gabe Davis.
All right, big game, Gabe, and a big game tonight. All right, anybody, any parting words before we get out here?
No, sir. Good luck,
Good
everybody.
luck.
I'm trying to figure out my lineups right now. So
Make sure you check out the other show. It should be starting right about now.
Yeah, jump over to the Sports Gambling Podcast main feed and check out the pregame with Sean and Kramer.
And don't forget about Hall of Fame bets. Good luck this week.
All right.